Bismillahi walhamdulillahi assalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah amma ba'd rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, my dear brothers. Today, inshallah, we will try our best to complete our study of Surah Al Muminun and cover from the last ayahs, which is from ayah number 91 until 118. Just like every other class, we will quickly go through the actions that we have had in the previous class. So the number one action that we discussed was, and this was a question that we need to continuously asking ourselves, are we amongst those who are confused about Quran and Islam? Because there was this ayah that specifically came that there are certain people who are confused. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and we got a lot of ayahs that convinced us to look at the signs around us. So the action was, don't be confused. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is our creator. He knows how we should operate, which is why he has sent down this Quran as a revelation, as our user manual, or the set of instructions that we need to follow. And we have to always apply the guidance filter. And the guidance filter means, is something, an action or a decision, taking you closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, or is it taking you away from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? And it can be the smallest of things, or it can be one of the key big decisions of your life. People who are blessed with wealth, children, power in this world, they need to protect themselves from arrogance, because then shaitan puts this waswasa in your mind. Oh, you are so blessed, you have everything in this world. Even if there is a day of judgment, then you will also do in the afterlife as well, you will do great. And shaitan also makes us think that those who are following the religion, they are losers and they haven't achieved anything in life. And those standards of life that we have in terms of wealth, power, and all of this. However, what we need to realize is that life is a test for everyone. If Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given someone anything, or if somebody is going through a test, then they need to show patience. And if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives you access of wealth and power in this world, then this is a test of how we will utilize that wealth and power to help others versus, keeping it to ourselves. And one reality of life is that time will be up very soon, and we should not be caught by surprise. And by time up, I means the time of death. Everyone will go through death. There is no age or there is no defined time. No one can say that I've been living for I don't know how many thousands of years. Everyone will taste death. Everyone will eventually die. And that's when the reality will come. So before that time comes, we have to strike a balance between this world and hereafter. And we have to consciously invest towards hereafter. And similar action will come in today's class as well as we go through, inshallah. Everyone is obsessed with money and benefit in this world. Whatever, when you talk to, and this was an action. We have to deliberately invest in our akhirah. The way the world is designed, when you go through schooling, through university, through your job and everything, all of the success and accomplishments and achievements are linked towards this world only. What have you achieved in this world? How big a house you have, what car you are driving, how much is your salary, what is your designation, how much money are you earning, all of these things. Even if you are a person, if you're a female and if you're in house and people are saying, oh, you have such a good skill, why don't you start why don't you open a restaurant? Why don't you start this and do that and all of this? Because people are fixated on this world. We have to invest our time, effort, energy, skills, resources for the hereafter as well. So we have to deliberately invest in our akhirah as well, which is the life hereafter, which means doing things and deeds that may not give us short-term benefit in this world, but they give us benefit in the hereafter, inshallah. So let's continue our study. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. I seek refuge in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala from shaitan, the outcast, the cursed one. This specific dua and similar dua will also come in today's lesson for us, inshallah. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. In the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the most gracious, the most merciful. Ayah number 91 of Surah Al Muminun. مَتَّخَذَ اللَّهُ مِنْ وَلَدٍ وَمَا كَانَ مَعَهُ مِنْ إِلَهٍ إِذًا لَذَهَبَ كُلُّ إِلَهٍ بِمَا خَلَقَ وَلَعَلَ بَعْضُهُمْ عَلَى بَعْضٍ Subhanallah amma yasifun. Now Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala puts forward in front of us a very logical argument that why there is only one creator, why there is only one Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, why there is only one God. Why can't there be multiple gods, as the mushriks were proclaiming and they continue to assert? And this was the case even, and this was the argument even that previous messengers and prophets also had to face, that we have more than one God. We don't believe in La ilaha illallah. That was the thing that they were opposing. So this is a logical answer. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has not taken any son, and there is not with him any god. He has no partners. Then if there were partners, then surely each one of the gods would have taken their own creation and tried to overpower the other god. So if there were multiple gods, then everyone would have they would have done their own creation, like Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created everything. So now the argument is that if there would have been multiple gods, they would have their own creation, they would have their own way, and then eventually the one god will try to be superior versus other and overpower the other god. So this is not logical. It does not make sense. And some of them would have overpowered another, and they would be fighting amongst themselves. Subhanallahi amma yasifun. Glory be to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He is clean, or he is oblivious of all these things that they are attributing. He is far high. He's far above all of the things that they are saying in terms of having multiple gods, and we have this god and this is God. This is not a logical argument, and for sure it cannot be applied. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is above everything. He's exalted, and everything that they are saying, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is beyond all of this. They don't have an idea what they are saying. Alim al-ghaybi wash-shahadati fata'ala amma yushrikun. He is the knower of the unseen and the seen and the witness. So everything that is clearly in front of us, in front of our eyes, and everything that is hidden from us or our eyes, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows everything. He even knows the thoughts that are inside our chest or inside our brain when we are thinking. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows. Why is this ayah coming in? Because all of these things that they used to say behind the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and even against the other messengers and prophets who have been sent in this world, all of the mushriks who used to say, there cannot be one God and all of these things, or they used to have their own secret meetings, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is aware, and he has absolute knowledge of everything that they show or they hide. Nothing can be hidden from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So everything that they're associating, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is above that. He is exalted above what they associate. Fata'ala amma yushrikun. Moving forward, Qur Rabbi imma turiyanni ma yu'adun. Say, my Lord, if you should show me what they are promised, meaning if the punishment comes to them. Now Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is again teaching a dua to the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam as well, that if they have been given a punishment, like all the previous nations, they have been promised that yes, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will hold them accountable. So if that punishment comes, like for the other prophets and messengers, like Musa alayhi salam, like Shuaib alayhi salam, like multiple, like Nuh alayhi salam, like Lut alayhi salam. So all of their nations were punished, but the prophets were saved. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is teaching the same prayer, that in case that punishment comes, then how you're supposed to seek protection from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So my Lord, if you should show me what they are promised, meaning if there is a punishment that comes on them, Rabbi fala taj'alni fil qawmiz zalimin. My Lord, then do not place me among the wrongdoers. Keep me protected, move me away from them, and protect us when a punishment comes on the wrongdoers because of their wrongful deeds. Oh Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, protect us from that punishment, because we try our best, or we are following the right path, and we are trying our best to follow the right path. Wa inna ala an nuriyaka ma na'iduhum la qadirun. And indeed we are surely able to show you what we have promised them. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has this power and this authority to give the punishment that has been promised, and he can do it anytime. Why are the wrongdoers not immediately seized, and why are they not immediately punished? We have discussed this concept. The point is, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is giving everybody time in order for them to come back on the right path and ask forgiveness, because the wrongdoers are also going through a test, and this is the test why they were why they were sent in this world. So if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala immediately holds them on their wrongdoing, then they will say, oh Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we do not get the time to correct ourselves. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is giving them time so that they can come back on the right path. And this is an element of his mercy, even on the wrongdoers, that he's giving them time so that they can come back on the right path and ask his forgiveness. And if they do not do, and if they continue on the wrong path, then their punishment gets multiplied, and then they go deeper into trouble. So this is why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying here that yes, He has all the power and authority and qudrat. He is qadir over giving them the promised punishment, and He has all the power and authority. It's just that He's giving them time. idfa billati hiya ahsanus sayyi'ah. Repel by that which is best the evil. Now, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is giving us a life, and this is an amazing life lesson for all of us, that if somebody comes to you evil, you return it with the best thing or something ahsan. Okay? So, if somebody comes up with you and they start shouting and yelling, and then you stay calm and then you respond in a nice mannered way, this is the right way. If somebody comes and curses you and abuses you and all of this, and they start to say something bad about Islam or you being a Muslim or anything, you stay calm and then you return it in a nice way, and you tell them the good things. You tell them the good things about Islam and everything. And this is true for all matters of life. You're not supposed to engage with an unreasonable person or a rowdy person. Of course, if they attack you, you're supposed to protect yourself. However, whenever somebody is, let's say, doing something wrong to you, ideally you should return it with a better deed. And then they'll be surprised. How come I did this something wrong with them? How come they are being so nice? Then you tell them, this is the way of Muslim. This is our way of preaching, and this is our way of dawah as well, to inspire others to Islam. If somebody hurts you and then you return back hurting them, yes, you have the right. I mean, you can give that equal treatment. However, if you really want to go the extra mile, you should inspire them and do good to them. And one day they will realize, why is this person so nice to me? And then if you tell them, and if they confront you, how come I did so many bad things, but still you are, helping me, or whenever I come to you, then you tell them it is because this is what Islam teaches us. These are also our manners, and our actions are a way to inspire others to Islam. So if somebody is doing an evil act and doing an evil thing to you, you try to return it with the best and ahsan things, the best things, so that they also get inspired from Islam. Nahnu alamu bima yasifun. We know best of what they attribute. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the knower of everything, and He knows what they are doing. وَقُلْ رَبِّ أَعُوذُ بِكَ مِنْ هَمَزَاتِ الشَّيَاطِينِ. This is an amazing dua that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is teaching us in the Holy Quran. Rabbi a'udhu bika min hamazati shayateen. My Lord, I seek refuge in you from the suggestions of the evil one. This is very, very important. This statement is very, very important for us. We seek refuge from the suggestions of the evil ones. So the evil ones or shayateen can suggest things to us. Okay? Keep this point in mind. We will discuss it after the next ayah. The next ayah is also related. So we are asking for, I seek refuge in you, my Rabb, my Lord, from the suggestions of the evil ones. So protect me from the suggestions. Wa a'udhu bika Rabbi ay yahzurun. And I seek refuge in you, my Lord, lest they be present with me. So first of all, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect me from the suggestions of shaitan. And if they reach out to me, then also protect me so that I don't follow them. This is a very comprehensive dua that has a lot of implications on our life. Now, let's look at one important thing. Whispers from shaitan are real. I'm sure you guys can see in life all around us, especially in these days. I mean, the whispers of shaitan probably are at its peak, and we continue to get this across all forms of life. Even if you'll try to move towards the good thing, he will try to prevent you. If you move towards the bad thing, he will try to push you towards the bad path. So the objective of shaitan was what? He said at the time when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created Adam alayhi salam, and he was asked to prostrate and give salute to him, and then he refused and he said, no, I am superior. He became arrogant. Shaitan became arrogant. After that, he said, I will sit on the right path, and I will make sure that they are not following your guidance, your creation. The human beings are not following the guidance. And this was a challenge that he took until the end of time, until the day of judgment. So his objective is to push us towards the wrong path. Now, I have a question with you guys. I hope you guys are there, all of you. So, how can shaitan push us towards the wrong path? Does he hold our hand and then he takes us towards the bad deed, or he makes us do, or he clicks on our mobile phone? How does he throw us towards the wrong path? Who will tell me? Anything that comes to your mind. How can shaitan push us towards the wrong path? Who will tell me? You can simply unmute yourself and answer. You don't have to write on chat. It's difficult for me to follow the chat. Just unmute. Yes, Abdul Aziz, go ahead.
I think he gives us small incentives and whispers in our ears about like trying to convince us and showing us that doing the wrong thing is okay, and shows us
Excellent.
kind of convinces us.
Brilliant answer. Jazakallah khairan, Abdul Aziz. You're right. He basically does whispers and he just suggests things. He puts ideas in our mind. He cannot make our hand move and, make us do something. He cannot make us say something. So it's not like he can actually make us do something, because if that was the case, if shaitan would be the one who would be forcing us to speak, if shaitan would be the one who had control of our hands and feet, then on the day of judgment, the human beings can go and say, Allah SWT, I did not have control over my body and I did not have control of myself. Shaitan made me do this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I am innocent. I have not done anything. But this is not the case. And this is the test of life. Shaitan will continue to whisper in our ears, yeah, do this, do this. Nobody's watching. Yeah, your mom and dad are out of the house. You're on your own with your mobile device. You can do whatever. You're at your friend's house, the two of your friends, his parents are out, whatever, and the two of you are alone. You're supposed to be studying. It's a combined study session. 5 of the friends are there. Let's put up a movie that you're not supposed to watch. Let's chat with the opposite sex or something, right? A lot of things shaitan can make you do. You're alone and you're in a party, and there is something that you're not supposed to drink or whatever, right? A lot of things. You're not supposed to go to a mixed gathering. You lie to your parents, I'm going there and whatever, and then you end up in a cinema watching a movie you shouldn't be, or end up in a party that you're not supposed to be, or end up doing stuff that you're not supposed to be. Shaitan's whispers this. Yeah, you're alone. That's by the way, the biggest whisper and a lie, that you are alone, nobody is watching you. While we know that our lives are being recorded and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows everything. And on the day of judgment, this recording will be played back to us. This is what you were doing at this point in time, and these were your deeds. So for us, the thought that we are alone, nobody is watching, is not true. For a truly believing Muslim, you cannot believe that you're alone. So shaitan puts this in our mind, and he plays this with your mind. Like, for example, if you're trying to give sadaqah or charity, he will come and say, no, wait. Why are you giving this money away? You have so many bills to pay. You have to do this, and there is a fee needs to come, an electricity bill, and in the future, and I don't know, fees of your students and of your kids, and your kid is in primary school, but you have to eventually pay his university fees. So start saving. So every time you will try to get into a good thing, he will put in your mind, no, you should not do that. And then similarly, when you're going into an evil and a bad thing, he will continue to push you, and no problem. You will end up spending a lot of thousands and millions over things that you shouldn't be getting, right? Or doing. So that's how he controls. So the important thing to note is that he cannot control you physically, but the whispers of shaitan are real. Shaitan can only suggest. We are the ones who do all acts, so we are accountable for our acts. Now, in order to protect ourselves, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala just taught us amazing dua in the Quran, and this is in front of us in these two ayahs. So we should try to learn and recite these duas regularly, because shaitan and his whispers are with us on a regular basis. He just looks at the moment when you are vulnerable, when he can give a suggestion and he knows that you will do it. How to protect yourself, how to always be on the right path. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is also teaching us this dua. Rabbi a'udhu bika min hamazatish shayateen. My Lord, I seek refuge in you from the suggestions of the evil ones, from the suggestions of shayateen. Wa a'udhu bika Rabbi an yahzurun. and I seek refuge in you, my Lord, lest they will be present with me. So if they reach me, suggestions. First of all, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect me, keep me away. But in case they reach me, then oh Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, again protect me so that I don't take an evil action, I don't do an evil deed. So these duas are in front of you. They are amazing, amazing companion of you. These duas are our companions for throughout our lives. We need to recite them continuously because shaitan's whisper will be with you throughout your lives. Moving forward. حتى إذا جاء أحدهم الموت قال رب ارجعون. Until when to one of them the death comes, he says, oh my Lord, send me back. So the moment somebody dies, they realize the truth. It comes in front of them. And they immediately recall all the messages that they had received, all the guidance that came to them, but they kept on rejecting. They kept on rejecting. No, this is not true. Let me have fun. Let me enjoy my life. I don't believe whatever. All of those things comes immediately. The moment until when comes to one of them the death, he says, my Lord, send me back. That's when they realize, that's when they are regretting, and they want to come back to this life and take actions. By the way, the actions and following the guidance is anyways easy. It's not difficult. You just have to let go of certain things that are haram, and anyway they don't benefit you in this life or the hereafter. So even this life you can enjoy, you can fulfill all your desires, you can have an amazing life. Living as a practicing Muslim, you'll be content, you'll be happy, you'll be fulfilled, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not asking us something to do something against the way he has designed us. But so this is an amazing test. Doing right serves you and you are successful in this world and hereafter. Doing wrong, most likely you will crash in this world after having certain pleasure, let's say, and then you will eventually crash in this world and it will be bad for your hereafter. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, until when comes to one of them the death, he says, my Lord, send me back. Give me one more chance. But then it will be too late. Where will that person be? At the time of death until the day of judgment. There is a place called Alam-e Barzakh, the place which is a barrier between this life and the hereafter. And this is what this ayah is mentioning. لَعَلِّي أَعْمَلُ صَالِحًا فِي مَا taraktu kalla. Why would the person say at the time of death, oh Lord, send me back, that I may do righteous deeds in what I left behind. No, and in what I left behind. So he wants to go back now and do the righteous deeds, right? So he's now regretting right after death. Innaha kalimatun huwa qailuha. Indeed, it is a word, he speaks it. Now, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is putting his stamp on it. He's confirming that at the time of the death, wrongdoer will do this immediately. He will say, oh my Lord, send me back. I want to do righteous deeds. Because immediately the truth will be in front of his eyes. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is stamping it. Indeed, this is a word that he speaks it. This is exactly how he will say it. However, وَمِن وَرَائِهِمْ بَرْزَخٌ إِلَى يَوْمِ يُبْعَثُونَ. And before them is a barrier till the day they are resurrected. He will be now in this barzakh, which is a barrier, which is a place that people are kept after their death and before they are raised again on the day of judgment. Now they cannot, because it's a barrier between these two places. Until Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants, you cannot cross the barrier. So you cannot be brought back to life. And the day of judgment also has a time that it will come. So this is a barrier in between where people are placed after they die until the day of judgment, when they will be going up. So the regret has started. The moment the person died, the regret started. So this is a point to note and a very, very important action after this. And this is what I said, that this was an action that we also captured in the previous class. So the point to note is right after that death, people will be regretting if they can go back and do righteous deeds, but it will be too late. They will be kept in barzakh, in that barrier, until the day of judgment. So for us, action is, and I don't know, I keep on showing this view out of the grave, right? So I know now you guys recognize this. This is a view out of the grave. It's a reality. that all of us have to go through, regardless of you're a Muslim, non-Muslim, everyone dies. So our time will be up very soon. We should not be caught by surprise. And if you want to avoid yourself from regret, then please strike a balance. Be a practicing Muslim. It's fine to put an effort in this world. It's okay, but make sure you're conscious about the hereafter. Being a practicing Muslim is about consciousness, knowing the guidance, being conscious. Am I following the guidance or not? Am I doing halal or am I doing haram? Being conscious is very important as a Muslim. And you guys are about to start your lives where you are independently accountable. You will start to earn. Many times these choices will come. Are you earning the halal way or you're earning the haram way? There will be a lot of pressure from the society. You need to get a car, you need to get a house, you have a wife and you have kids and you have all these expenses, but you have to make halal choices in all your decisions. You cannot come under the pressure, which is why I say you have to apply the guidance filter. If I take this decision, will I go closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala or away from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Will I go closer to Islam or away from Islam? And when you put in your resources, time, money, all of this, you need to make sure that you're getting something for this world, but you're also investing in your hereafter or akhirah. Moving forward. فَإِذَا نُفِخَ فِي الصُّورِ فَلَا أَنْسَبَ بَيْنَهُمْ يَوْمَئِذٍ وَلَا يَتَسَاءَلُونَ. So when is blown the trumpet, meaning on the day of judgment, when the trumpet is blown, then there will be no relationship among them that day, and they will not be asking each other, and no one will be able to help each other. All these friends that you have that have gotten your back, your friends cover you mostly when you're doing wrong things. Sometimes siblings cover each other, the brothers and sisters. Yeah, I got your back, man. I'm here with you. Don't worry. I will take care of your parents. If they call them, I will tell them, it's okay. You're fine. All of these people, all of these relationships, no one will be there. The best of relationship to keep is the one that gets you closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, which is why we should pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala before getting married, that our spouses, they're better than us in religion so that we can learn from them and we can move towards religion. A spouse or having a partner of your life, the life partner, either a husband or a wife, is something very, very important because that impacts your entire life and your choices, right? So, and why am I saying this on this ayah? Because in this ayah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying there will be no relationship that will matter at that point in time. So right now, if somebody is forcing you and you are under pressure and you're trying to forcing you towards the wrong path because, they would need the money. So even if you have to take interest or bribery or corruption or whatever you have to take it, then they will not be benefiting you. They will all be held accountable for their own sake. So you cannot say at that point in time, oh, I did this for others. I did this for my children. I did this for my wife. I did this for my parents. I did this because of this person or that person. I did this because this person told me to do this. No, everyone will be held accountable individually. So you have to make sure, yes, you have to provide for your family. You have to put in all the effort, but you have to do it the halal way. And you have to do it the right way. So here, when the trumpet is blown on the day of judgment, then no one will be helping each other. Everyone will be worried about themselves. فَمَنْ ثَقُلَتْ مَوَازِينُهُ فَأُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْمُفْلِحُونَ. Then the one whose scales are heavy, then those are the ones who are successful. Imagine a scale, weighing scale. And the heavy means those who have good deeds and they are heavier with good deeds. They are the ones who are the successful ones. What about the other ones? وَمَنْ خَفَّتْ مَوَازِينُهُ فَأُولَٰئِكَ الَّذِينَ خَسِرُوا أَنفُسَهُمْ فِي جَهَنَّمَ خَالِدُونَ. But the one whose scales are light with good deeds and heavier on the evil deeds, then those are the ones who have lost their souls, and in hell they will abide by in it forever. They will live in hell forever. Those whose scales are light, meaning their good deeds are less and their evil deeds are more. We don't want to be among those people, right? تَلْفَحُ وُجُوهَهُمُ النَّارُ وَهُمْ فِيهَا كَالِحُونَ. Their faces will burn in the fire and they will grin with displayed lips. Now, this is a sarcastic way So they will be smiling, but their lips will be displaced. They will not be able to smile. Imagine a person who has done wrong and now he's getting the punishment. And the way they make their face. So if you start to burn somebody's face, imagine the look on their face. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is already highlighting this in front of us so that we can correct our lives today. This is not an easy thing. To abide in a place, to live in a place we constantly in fire. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect us from this. Allahumma ajirni minan nar. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect us from hellfire. Alam takun ayati tutla alaykum fakuntum biha tukadzibun. My verses were not recited, were my verses not recited to you, and you used to deny them. And this is exactly what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying. All of these verses are coming in front of us as well. Imagine this, the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam reciting in front of the mushriks, in front of the Jews and the Christians, and they're opposing him. So there is everything Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is recording, everything as we went through in the previous ayah. These are the verses. Now, it was not just for that time, it is for all the times to come. It is for us as well to correct our ways. These are the verses that are coming in front of us as well. So denying them means what? Denying them means, yes, I am reading Quran, I am understanding Quran, and I'm taking this Tafsir class, and I am reading the Quran with tajweed and everything. However, when I go back, I'll do my life, whatever I want, I'm having fun. No, denying them means you're not implementing it. So even when you understand something, even when things are coming in front of you clear, then you don't implement it in your life. So it's as if you did not even hear them. And we have seen this multiple times. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala calls them deaf, and they are blind, because no matter, you tell them something and they're not listening, as if they are blind and they're deaf. So here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, were my verses not recited to you, however you used to deny them. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala enable us to be better practicing Muslims and not deny his verses. قالوا ربنا غلبت علينا شقوتنا وكنا قوما ضالين. They will say, the people who will be burning in hellfire at that point in time, they will say, our Lord, wretchedness overcame us, right? And we were stray people. So the wrongful things, they overcame us. We were not in control and we were strayed among them. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us control as human beings. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made us superior beings. We are going through this test. We have control. We have control to let go of bad things. So if any one of us is involved in bad habits, the first thing they need to do is ask forgiveness from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Start praying to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. What shaitan does is, he whispers you, you are such a bad person, don't even need to go to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You can't pray. How come you're praying? You just did such a bad thing. You just watched a dirty movie and now you're just about to pray. This is the biggest thing that shaitan can do. Put a whisper, do a bad thing, and then keep you away from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to seek forgiveness. Because that's what he himself did, right? He became arrogant and he did not seek forgiveness. This is the difference between shaitan and Adam alayhi salam. The sunnah of Adam alayhi salam is, fine, he made a mistake, but immediately Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala taught him the prayer to seek forgiveness, and he asked for forgiveness and he was forgiven. So we should follow the sunnah of Adam alayhi salam, even if we are doing bad deeds, even if we have bad habits, even if we are doing something that we are not supposed to do, we should continue to go back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and keep your connection. Important thing is to keep the connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, meaning 5-time prayers, staying conscious. And then if you make mistakes, you can continuously ask for forgiveness. Obviously, you cannot plan your mistakes. Don't plan, say, fine, I'll make a mistake and then I will pray and then I will ask for forgiveness. No, you cannot do that. So we were wretched, overcame wrongful things and bad things upon us, and we were the people who were on the wrong path. We were zaleen. This word also comes in Surah Fatiha, the first opening surah that we continue to recite. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala not include us among zaleen, those who went stray, those who did zulm on themselves. Rabbana akhrijna minha fa'in udna fa'inna zalimun. Our Lord, bring us out from it. Then if we return, then indeed would be. Then if we return them, then indeed we would be wrongdoers. So basically, here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that they will be asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that please get us back from this situation, and we want to do the righteous deeds. However, if you put us back and we don't do righteous deeds and we do the wrongful acts, then again we will be amongst the wrongdoers. So they are trying and asking for another chance. However, the response from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will be قَالَ سَأُ فِيهَا وَلَا تُكَلِّمُونَ. He will say, remain despised in it and do not speak to me. So this will be a very difficult and heavy moment that we need to start feeling from right now. Once we start feeling this from right now, then we will be conscious in our lives. What is happening? People who are doing wrong deeds, they will be thrown into hellfire. Their faces will be in fire. They will be all distorted. And they will try to ask forgiveness from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And they will say, yes, we did wrongful things and we went to the wrong path. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, please give us one chance. The response from and if you give us one chance, we will go back and we will try to do the good deeds. If we do not do, then we will be amongst the wrongdoers. So they want another chance to do, and they want another life to correct everything that they've done. What Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will say is, remain despised in it. You will stay in it and do not speak to me. This is the worst thing that can happen, and this is the worst outcome that can happen. Allahumma ajirni minan nar. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect us from hellfire. So please, the time is right now in this life to correct our lives. We will not get another chance, clearly written in the Quran in front of us. So try to correct your lives, be a better practicing Muslim, try to be on the right path. So the action coming from the previous ayahs, and I wanted to capture this separately as an action, and this has basically 2 points to it. Be conscious about what you're carrying with you. Everything that we are doing, all decisions we are making, the things that we are doing to other people, the actions that we do, this is a baggage that we are carrying, right? Pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for forgiveness and try your best to do more good deeds and refrain from bad deeds. Try to do good deeds and refrain from bad deeds. Try to do halal, refrain from haram. Save yourself and your family, protect yourself. And the first thing that is mentioned in this section, pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for forgiveness. It is very, very important, because as humans, we will continue to make mistakes. And we saw the game plan of shaitan. We already saw the game plan of shaitan that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed. He will put whisper, he would want you on the wrong path, because he wants you to be to go to hellfire, and to put you astray. Now, we are not that capable as human beings. We have to pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and continue asking his forgiveness, right? And try our best to be practicing Muslims by doing good deeds and refraining from bad deeds. This is one action. The other action is, even when we do good deeds, what happens is, when we are doing good deeds, shaitan wants to waste away that good deeds, because he's sitting on the right path. He's sitting on Sirat al-Mustaqim. What does that mean? Those people who are even trying to walk on the right path, he will come and attack them more. When you will pray, he will give you all sort of thoughts. When you will give good deeds or will do charity, he will ask you to get some, publicity around it. Take a selfie, send it to your friends. They will be so happy, showing off, or, being jealous of others, backbiting. So there are some bad deeds, clearly bad deeds. But even when you are doing good deeds, he would want them to waste away. So we should also pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to accept our good deeds, so that they don't go wasted because of deed wasters. Deed waster means something that makes your deed go away. An act followed by a good deed that washes it away, as if you had never done that good deed. Be conscious. Be conscious that you're doing it only for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, for the reward in the hereafter. Not because other people should talk about me that I am such a great person. If you want the reward in this world, that other people talk about you, you're such a great charitable person, good character, you will get that in this world. Because yes, when you do some good act and when you post it on Facebook or Instagram, or you share it with your friends, or you declare it, then yes, people give you all the likes and the comments on amazing, what a great job you did. So you got the reward that you wanted. There'll be nothing in the hereafter. So shaitan wants us to waste the deed, because when you do a good deed, the ultimate success of that good deed is in the hereafter. You want the scales to be heavy. You don't want the good deeds to be just washed away from your scales. And for the day of judgment and in akhirah, your scale to be heavy, you have to carry them until akhirah. You have to protect those deeds. Don't talk about it. Don't, because we have this desire inside, and this is a desire that is inbuilt in us when we grow up. When you get good grades, we should tell all the relatives and all my friends, that I got the first class, and I got the A plus and A star, so that some of them will say, oh, such a good boy, such a good girl, she's doing so well and everything. They say good things about you, it feeds you, and you become, yes, I'm the best among all my relatives and all of this, right? And some of them may give you gifts and everything. All of this reward of this appreciation in this world and this feeding our ego is within this world. We have to protect our good deeds and carry them until the afterlife, so that they get there and they reach safely. When you want something, when you have a gold and you're transporting, you keep on checking. When you have money, a lot of money, and you're carrying it in your pocket of your coat, inside pocket, and then you just keep on your hand and checking, yes, I have it, yes, nobody, it's not lost. We have to protect our good deeds, guys. We have to keep them in a safe, and we have to protect these good deeds and take them in on the day of judgment. We have to take them into in the akhirah. When you have a very important parcel and you're carrying, you don't put it in your check-in baggage, you keep it hand carry, and then you keep on your hand carry clothes, that it has very valuable things. I will make sure I deliver it myself with my own hands, right? So same things, we have to deliver our good deeds with our own hands on the day of judgment. To be on that scale of good deeds, shaitan would want to waste them away. So there are 2 points and 2 very important actions. Number 1 here, ask Allah SWT for forgiveness and try to do your best to do more good deeds and refrain from bad ones. The other action is protect your good deeds so that they reach Allah SWT on the day of judgment. There is a question that just came on chat. Excuse me, sir. What should we do if we are in co-education? So this question is related to fiqh, and I don't know the exact situation. In whatever situation you are in, when you are in co-education, and this is about mixed genders, so males and females are learning together. It's okay to have a formal conversation. It's okay. I mean, even in work situations, you can be working with females, but you should restrict it to learning, and you should not get in individual, let's say, sessions. So Islam has prohibited a male and female to be together. And again, in your situation, I think it is better that you ask from a mufti or Islamic scholar and they can tell you. But from a concept standpoint, I can tell you that, again, you have to always measure, is my conversation purely for the sake of learning with the opposite gender, or is there any other way that I can save myself and I just concentrate on my lesson and with my teacher, and I am trying to the objective is for me to study and not get into interactions with the other gender, because one thing leads to another. One private chat can lead to something, one private discussion can lead to something, right? And there are several ahadiths that you can find that tells us that a male and the female should not be alone together or in a conversation and everything, and all the restrictions about a veil that should be in front of a male and a female. So there are many, Islamic scholars and muftis who have discussed this. But I can tell you, if you are in that situation, try to make sure that you are protecting yourself and you're protecting from the waswasa of shaitan, especially in that setting, right? So it can be in school, in an education, or in workplace. It can be in any place. Okay, moving forward. But I hope that you guys got the key message that we had. We had 2 actions. One is to do more good deeds, refrain from bad ones. And when you do good deeds, you try to protect them and send them through carefully on the day of judgment, and don't spoil them. Moving to ayah number 109. إنه كان فريق من عبادي يقولون ربنا آمنا فاغفر لنا وارحمنا وأنت خير الراحمين. Indeed, there was a party of my slaves who said, so these are the good people. Now, we just heard about the bad people who will be thrown, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will not even speak to them, and they'll try to approach and ask for forgiveness once they are thrown into hellfire. However, indeed, there was a group, or there was a party of my slaves, abd of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who said, our Lord, we believe, so forgive us and have mercy on us, and you are the best of those who show mercy. فَاتَّخَذْتُمُوهُمْ سِخْرِيًّا حَتَّى أَنْسَوْكُمْ ذِكْرِي وَكُنْتُمْ مِنْهُمْ تَزْهَكُونَ. but you took them in mockery until they made you forget my remembrance. And so you made fun of them and you used to laugh at them. So they are these people. By the way, this also has a very nice hidden dua and prayer. This ayah 109, make a note of it. I would have highlighted this as an action. It just came to my mind, an idea Allah SWT gave me, that this is an amazing dua. فَاغْفِرْ لَنَا وَارْحَمْنَا وَأَنْتَ خَيْرُ الرَّاحِمِينَ رَبَّنَا آمَنَّا فَاغْفِرْ لَنَا وَارْحَمْنَا وَأَنْتَ خَيْرُ الرَّاحِمِينَ. Our Lord, we believe, so forgive us and have mercy on us, and you are the best of those who show mercy. Beautiful dua that also we should learn and recite. However, when those people, those slaves were in front of you, now again Allah SWT is coming back to the wrongdoers who are on the wrong path, but you look at them in mockery. Mockery means to make fun of someone, to look down upon someone. Ha ha ha, look at them, they're Muslims, losers, you know. Look at how the way they dress, and how, look at the beard and it looks weird and all of these things. So these people just make fun of, and you know, you can, and these are the practicing Muslims are few. It's not about Muslims and non-Muslims. Even within Muslim families, even within Muslim cultures, the true practicing Muslims are few, and most likely they are made fun of. And we can look at it within our society as well. And I'm sure if you objectively look at it, you will realize what I'm talking about, because all of us live in the same society. You will realize exactly what I'm talking about. So, but when you look at them, and by the way, it's not me who's talking about, it's coming in Quran. We are reading this together. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows. And this also shows you how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows. This was revealed 1400 years before. And this mockery and all of this pattern is coming in still today. And you see how people who are following Islam and are Muslims are made fun of. The way they dress, the way they look, the way they act. So you don't watch movies and you don't listen to music. What, really? Are you even are you even alive in this world? How come, you know? So you get to hear such things. But you look at them in mockery until they made you forget my remembrance, and you used at them laugh. So you used to laugh at them, and you completely forgot to remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and that there is a day of judgment and that you will die as well. So these are the people. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect us from becoming those people who are making fun of. In fact, we should look at our shortcomings being a Muslim and be a better practicing Muslim every day. Moving forward. Inni jazaituhumul yawma bima sabaru annahum humul faizun. Indeed, I have rewarded them this day because they were patient, and indeed they are the successful ones. So while the fun was being made, they were being joked upon, they remained patient. And this is also linked to the ayah that we previously went through, which is that you should respond to evil and bad things with nice things, with ahsan things. So even, let's say you are on the receiving end, let's say you are trying to be a practicing Muslim, but then somebody starts making fun of you. Look at the way he's dressing, and look at the way he's speaking, look at the way he's not having fun and not joining us in fun and all of this. You remain patient, and again you respond with a nice thing. So this is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala saying, indeed I have rewarded them this day because they were patient. Indeed they are the successful ones, the ones who are mocked at, the ones who are made fun of, and probably they are few as well. And we have seen multiple ayahs that show us these people will be the few. So every time you will say, you know, the argument is all my friends are doing this, all my entire group is going and doing and watching this, and all my class will be there in the mixed gathering party that, you know, will have dances and music and whatever, and I should not be part of it because it's not taking me closer to Allah and Islam. It is taking me away from it, and it is making me look at the other girls, or it's making girls look at boys in a way that it should not be, right? So indeed I have rewarded them this day because they were patient, and indeed they are the successful ones. Action for us, first of all, don't make fun of practicing Muslims. Even if you are in a gathering, in a group of friends, 5 friends, and 3 or 4 of them are making fun of another person or another guy who's religious and who's trying to be a better practicing Muslim, and if the 4 of them laugh, you cannot be laughing with them. You cannot belong to that group. You cannot be part of that group. You have to tell them, no guys, it's their choice, or whatever, they're practicing Muslim. In fact, we should get inspired from them. That's your job. Because they are the ones who will get the last laugh. You know, getting the last laugh. This is an English way of expression when you say that they are the ones who are the ultimate winners. So when they are being mocked at, Yes, you will get fun and you will have a nice time that you made fun of someone who in your mind was looking weird, or who in your mind was not doing fun stuff. So you were laughing at them. But eventually they will get the last laugh. What do I mean by that? Hear the ayah. This is the ayah that we just went through. Indeed, I have rewarded them, meaning Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will reward them on this day because they were patient. They had that sabr. And indeed, they are the successful ones. They will be the ones successful. The rest of the people will be in hellfire, which means they will have the last laugh. They will be the ones who will be ultimately successful. So, first of all, we should be amongst the practicing Muslims. We should be trying to become a better Muslim every day. The least we can do is to make fun of practicing Muslims and be amongst the group that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is defining. So we should try ourselves to be amongst those few people that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala defined here, that who followed the righteous path, who believed in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who asked for his forgiveness, and they are the ones who will be ultimately successful, meaning they are the ones who will get the last laugh. No matter how much in this world they get despised, they are losers and they are nothing, and look at them and the way and everything else, they are the ones who will be ultimately successful. This is what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling us in the Quran, written 1400 years back, and now we can see how we can apply it today as well. Alhamdulillah. Moving forward. قَالَ كَمْ لَبِسْتُمْ فِي الْأَرْضِ عَدَدَ سِنِينَ. He will say, how long did you remain in the earth in number of years? So now this is a discussion on the day of judgment, after Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made some people successful and some people are not. So the discussion will be, how long do you think we remained in this world? قَالُوا لَبِسْنَا يَوْمًا أَوْ بَعْضَ يَوْمٍ فَاسْأَلِ الْعَادِّينَ. They will say we remained a day or a part of the day, but ask those who were keeping count. We don't. The life that is moving so fast, guys. If you look at the past life, you will know that whatever number of years you have spent, 12, 13, 18, 20, 24, 34, 35, whatever, or a person like me in his 40s, when I look back in my life, it seems like my life went past like this. But the illusion of shaitan and the whisper of shaitan for the future is, oh my God, when we are 50, when we are 60, when we will grow old, there is no guarantee of your age. You can die tomorrow, you can die right after this class, or we can die during this class, right? There is no guarantee of how long we will live. But shaitan gives us this illusion. You have a long life, push it. I will start praying, I will become religious when I am old and I have had all the fun in my life, right? So, however, the reality that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling us is this life is so short. Right now, if I ask you how old are you and did these years pass like this, or did they were so long and it was like 10 years or 12 years or 15 years, most of the people, when they look back, they'll say our life passed like this. So if I do it again and again and again, and let's say you are in 20, 30, 40, in 5 moments like this, you will be 100 or not even in this world. So this is the reality of life. The life is moving so fast and we are approaching our death so fast that we don't even realize. Okay? قَالَ إِلْ لَبِسْتُمْ إِلَّا قَلِيلًا لَوْ أَنَّكُمْ كُنْتُمْ تَعْلَمُونَ. He will say, not you stayed, but a little, only if you knew. So you just stayed a little bit. So this life, that way in which we are trying to have fun and we're trying to do everything, and we are thinking that the other people who are practicing Muslim are losers, this will go in very fast. This will go in very fast. The ultimate life is of the hereafter. And those whom we think that they were the losers, they were the religious guys, and look at them, they are the ones who are the ultimate successful ones, who will have an ultimate successful life, unlimited. And it will be until, it's a never-ending life that they are winning in, right? And actually, they are winning in this life as well. It's just that we are not able to comprehend. As I was saying earlier, you can enjoy you can fulfill all your desires, you can have a lot of fun, just need to let go of a few things, which may sound painful initially, but then eventually Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala makes ease on them as well. So please make sure that you're following the halal way. Moving forward. أَفَحَسِبْتُمْ أَنَّمَا خَلَقْنَاكُمْ أَبَسًا وَأَنَّكُمْ إِلَيْنَا لَا تُرْجَعُونَ. Then did you think that we created you uselessly and that you will not be returned to us? This is an ultimate ayah of the purpose of creation. There is a purpose of our creation. It cannot be just we are just here for fun and we just die and then nothing happens. No, we are an amazing, amazing creation. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created this world, all things around us, the heavens and the world and the skies and all the creation for a purpose. And our purpose is the test of this life of those of us who will do good deeds and refrain from bad deeds so that we are ultimately successful. Then did you think that we created you uselessly and that you will not be returned to us? And this is an amazing ayah that also tells us a fact. If we were created uselessly, then why would someone even hold us accountable? Fine, you're created, go and just live whatever and then just die and be dust and everything, right? But the point is, because there is a purpose of our creation, we will be returned to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for the accountability of that life. What did you do with this life? You had clear guidance in front of you. Did you follow it or not follow it? Were you amongst the rejectors or were you amongst the acceptors who accepted the message and implemented it on their lives? These are the ones who are successful. And this is a fact that around us, they are few. They are few. So we have to find those few and we have to take inspiration from those few. And we have to be amongst those few abd of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that are being also stated in Quran. So the point to note is there is a purpose of our creation. We have to return and be accountable and get the results of this test of life. So if you're going through the test, then test has a result. Either you pass or a fail. This we will know in afterlife. But first we have to be conscious that yes, we are going through a result or a test. Let's say somebody is in an exam room. They don't even realize it's an exam room and they're having exam room and they're having fun and party and it's a 2-hour exam and they were just watching something on their mobile or playing a video game. 2 hours pass. And then they realize, so there was a test. They woke up and, there was a test happening. So first of all, we have to be conscious that there's a test that is happening. And after the end of this life or the end of 2 hours, we'll get a pass or a fail. So get that consciousness that this is the purpose of our creation so that you can actually attempt the test and not waste this life in, doing something that you're not supposed to do. So go through and attempt the test, right? And we have been given this book as a guidance on what will come even in the exam and how we should perform this exam. It's like an open book test, and the book is the Holy Quran. Alhamdulillah, that Allah SWT has given us an open book test. So it is very, very clear for us. Easy to get an A in this test. Fata'al Allahul Malikul Haq. Now here is the authority of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala being established. So exalted is Allah, the King, the truth. He is only Al-Haq. He is the truth. La ilaha illallah. There is no God except Him. Rabbul Arshil Kareem. He is the Lord who has the throne and He is the most honorable. He is the Lord of the throne. He is the King of the kings. وَمَن يَدْعُوا مَعَ اللَّهِ إِلَهًا آخَرَ. And whoever invokes with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala any other God, لَا بُرْهَانَ لَهُ بِهِ. For him there is proof in it. فَإِنَّمَا حِسَابُهُ إِنَّ رَبِّي. Then only his account is with his Lord. إِنَّهُ لَا يُفْلِحُ الْكَافِرُونَ. Indeed, there will be no success for the disbelievers. The disbelievers will not succeed. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, if you connect these two ayahs, this is very powerful. He is the only ilah. He is the only Lord, which means we will only follow His guidance. We will not follow any other guidance. And His guidance is absolute for us, which is what we are supposed to do, what we are not supposed to do. And to Him belongs the throne. And whoever invokes, meaning whoever believes in any other ilah, or any other God, meaning whoever follows any other guidance, and whoever thinks that someone else has more power in their life versus Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then their account is with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will, and the disbelievers in this concept will not be successful. Last ayah for today, we are almost on time. وَقُلْ رَبِّ اغْفِرْ وَارْحَمْ وَأَنْتَ خَيْرُ الرَّاحِمِينَ. This again, the dua is coming. And say, my Lord, forgive and have mercy, and you are the best of those who show mercy. This is ending with this amazing dua, this surah. If you recall, and if you haven't attended the initial classes of this surah, Surah Al Muminun, please go through those lessons. In the first lesson, we went through the traits of believers. This surah is called Al Muminun, the believers. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala started this surah by giving us those 4 or 5 traits of believers, the amazing traits of believers. Who are they? What do they do? What they don't do? The first and the last ones were starting with the prayer, ending with the prayer, that they are the ones who protect their prayers, meaning connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The last one is because we can try our best to be the best believer. However, we need to continuously ask for forgiveness from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because again, as we went through today's lesson, our good deeds also we need to protect, and they can be harmed as well. and we need to continuously ask and pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for forgiveness and mercy, and then try to be the best practicing Muslim. And that's how, and we should pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for mercy. When He bestows His mercy, then those are the people who are successful. So I hope you are able to make connections throughout this surah on how amazing guidance Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is giving us, what to do, what not to do. And then closing with this beautiful dua that I want you all to learn and recite almost on a daily basis. Rabbi ighfir warham wa anta khairur rahimin. Rabbi ighfir warham wa anta khairur rahimin. In fact, what we can do is we can unmute and we can quickly recite this dua. So guys, can you all please unmute and recite this dua only 3 times with me? All of us will get all the ajr. Unmute yourself. All of you guys, unmute yourself. I can still see many of you muted. Please unmute yourself. We will recite this dua together. Jazakumullahu khairan. Okay. So the dua is Rabbi ighfir warham.
Rabbi ighfir warham.
All of us together. Rabbi ighfir warham.
Rabbi ighfir warham.
Wa anta khairur rahimin.
Wa anta khairur rahimin.
Rabbi ighfir warham.
Rabbi ighfir warham.
Wa anta khairur rahimin.
Wa anta khairur rahimin.
Last time. Rabbi ighfir warham.
Rabbi ighfir warham.
Wa anta khairur rahimin.
Wa anta khairur rahimin.
Jazakumullahu khairan. You can go back on mute. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept this dua on behalf of all of us, on behalf of our loved ones, on behalf of our friends, on behalf of our family, on behalf of the entire Muslim Ummah, on behalf of all the Muslims who have passed away, on behalf of all the Muslims that are present today, and on behalf of all the Muslims that will come in this world until the day of judgment. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept the 3 times that we have recited this dua for all of us. Ameen ya Rabbal Alameen. This marks the end of today's lesson. Alhamdulillah, we will quickly go through the key actions from today. Whispers from Shaitan are real. His objective is to push us towards the wrong path. So Shayateen, they are sitting on the right path and they're sending us these whispers. And this we got directly from the ayah of the Quran. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala clearly telling us that Shaitan will put whispers. However, what we need to note is that they can only suggest. Shayateen don't control our hands, they don't control our actions, they don't control our tongue. We control them. So we have to ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we have to pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to seek refuge from the whispers of Shaitan. And we went through that dua together, and we need to memorize and repeat that dua. Right after death, people will be regretting if they can go back to do righteous deeds, but it will be too late. So for us, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala shared this reality. It's like the sight from the future. You know, this is like an image from the future or a video from the future. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling us, immediately when you die or a person who dies, what happens is they realize the truth. Oh my God, so this is the reality. Yes, so the guidance that I was receiving, everything I was being told is so true. So immediately and these are the wrongdoers. So immediately the first action they would want is, can I go back? Can I just correct my life? Can I do the righteous deeds? However, the time will be up. Time will be up. So for us, the action is we should not be caught by surprise. We have to strike a balance for effort for this world as well as for the hereafter. There has to be a balancing action. Be conscious about what you are carrying with you. We are carrying good deeds. We are carrying bad deeds. We have to make sure our good deeds are heavier on the scale on the day of judgment versus our bad deeds. And we have to continuously, and there are 2 points to this, and we went through this in detail. We have to pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for forgiveness and do more good deeds and refrain from bad deeds. That's action number 1. However, action number 2 is when you do your good deeds, you have to protect them. You have to protect them because the action right after, there can be deed wasters. And deed wasters are what? Like showing off and telling people and capturing it, and you gave a charity, you took a selfie, you put it on Facebook, everybody's saying, so basically you wanted the reward in this world, you did not want the reward in the hereafter. So you have to protect your good deeds. Pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to accept them and protect them and carry them carefully on the day of judgment. which means you cannot be bragging about them. Because if you want the benefit in this world, that people should be talking good about you, how good you are and how great you are and everything else, you'll be given the benefit in this world. People will talk good about you, but then eventually it will wash it away from your scale on the day of judgment. Make sure you are protecting your good deeds and they don't go wasted due to deed wasters. Finally, don't make fun of practicing Muslims. We just went through again a detailed account on the abd of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, those who do righteous deeds. They are the ones who are patient ones. There are other people who are mocking them. Ah, look at these Muslims and they are so losers and they look weird and look at the way they dress and they don't even enjoy life and they don't have fun and they're whatever, what are they doing with their life, and look at, so the way of Muslims or the way of practicing Muslims is being made fun of and will be made fun of. It's part of the Quran. We just went through it together. So first of all, we have to be a practicing Muslim and we have to be patient. And we also went through in an ayah previously that they respond with good, even if they are faced with evil. So if somebody does bad to you, you do good to them and you inspire them. This is our way of inspiring by action to others towards Islam. Why did you still do good to me? How come you did that? How did you trust me? We don't know even each other. You tell them, yes, I trust you because, I trust Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and that's how, you pass on the good, you inspire them towards being Muslim, or even who are Muslims but not practicing, so-called born Muslims, you still inspire them towards becoming practicing Muslims, right? So they are the ones. So don't make fun of practicing Muslim. That's the number one least thing you can do. First of all, you should be part of those who are practicing Muslims. But the people who make fun of practicing Muslims, then they need to know the last laugh will be with those practicing Muslims who are really up. So they are the ones who will get the last laugh. That is, they are the ones who will be ultimately successful. Again, this is also stated in an ayah clearly that they are the ones who are the patient ones, and they are the ones who are the ultimately successful ones. And we also saw that this life is limited. The time in this life is limited because people will be talking on the day of judgment. How many days did we spend? They'll say probably a day or two or half a day or whatever, a very limited time. But we cannot just say let's have fun and all the party in this limited life, and then we go and we get all the punishment for the life that is ultimately never ending. So plan for that never ending hereafter by doing good deeds here, by being a practicing Muslim here, by being patient here. Invest in your akhirah and not just let go of your akhirah for this very limited short life. So this marks the end of today's lesson. I don't know, are there any questions, comments before we end today's class? Okay. Subhanallahi wa bihamdi, subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika, ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik. Purity belongs to Allah and all praise be to Him. Purity belongs to you, O Allah, and all praise be to you. I bear witness that there is none worthy of worship besides you. I beg forgiveness from you and I repent before you. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, my dear brothers. Inshallah, I will see you next time, next week, same time.